Hi guys, welcome to the MoneySet YouTube channel and podcast. I'm Jay, and today I'm with Marc and Leo. And we are going to talk to you today about the topic of income. So just to recap, you've got this thing that we are really keen on, which is the FIRE movement. So FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And the idea there is to, rather than waiting until your 60s or 70s to achieve your financial freedom, you change your spending pattern and maximize your income, and you reinvest this surplus in order to achieve this financial independence as early as possible.
Yes.
Maybe in your late 30s, if you are really ambitious, or at least in your 40s. And today we would like to especially concentrate on the income side of it. So we are going to give you some ideas on how you can maximize this income. So to start with, I would like to highlight a figure that is that the average salary in the UK is around the £35,000 mark, which is a good number, but as part of this FIRE movement, you are asked to save 40, even 50% of your salary.
If possible.
If possible.
Yeah,
so if you live on,
it may sound a lot.
Yeah. So there are means that, if you were just to do it from 35, we totally acknowledge it's going to be a big task.
Yeah.
Definitely. But there are ways where you can maximize this income. So the exercise becomes easier and easier. Okay. So one example would be maybe on your main job.
Absolutely, I think that's a great point, and I don't know if there are things that come to my mind that you can actually do to maximize the income while staying in your job.
Sure.
Because obviously that's probably going to be one of your main sources of income, right? So I would say the first thing that comes to my mind that you can do, and I have personally done in the past, is you need to know your ground. You need to know what are you being paid for, so the level of your skills. So you need to look at things that you can actually do within your job to upscale your skills, for example, and try to be compensated for that. That's one of the things you can do. Obviously, another thing that you can do is stay in touch with the wider industry. So know that how much can you be paid for the skills that you currently have. So you can actually talk to recruiters, for example.
Sure.
Go for interviews on your spare time, obviously, and try to see how much what's the gap that you currently have in your job. And then once you understand that, then you can have a much higher leverage or power for negotiating with your current employer, for example. So try to maximize that side of the
equation.
Of the equation, exactly. That's the word that I was missing. Thanks for that one.
If I may add, there are some great websites, in particular one called Glassdoor, which give you an insight as to how much you could expect to receive in terms of package. If you were to work for another employer or for an equivalent job. So if you are working in retail industry, you will be able to benchmark your current package in terms of salary and bonus and all the extra versus what is available in the industry. So it's always good to see if you have been left behind, because maybe you have been staying in the same job for quite some time. And you may like it, but others, market is pushing, and maybe your employer is a bit behind in terms of remuneration.
Yeah, and to that point, obviously, you can stay in your job, you can find ways to negotiate a higher pay grade, but also you can take advantage of the package that comes with your own job, right? So there are things that your employer might be giving you that you are not maximizing to the full extent that you could leverage. I don't know, for example, pension contributions. Right. So your employer, but for £1 that you put, maybe put in another pound to match that contribution. So you should leverage that to a reasonable extent to take advantage of that. Obviously, the same with additional benefits that you can get that could be, for example, tax-free benefits. So you could leverage that. There could be benefits related to health benefits, personal well-being, sports, things that you can do. Sports, the employer can contribute to that as well. So you should look into these aspects to maximize the income that you have from your current job.
Yeah.
I don't discard totally the fact that, as we said before, you can also look for other opportunities that you can be rewarded to be paid more if you switch jobs as well, because we shouldn't be also blind to the fact that sometimes you have to take that step to maximize the income that you will get, even if you keep the same level of skills that you currently have.
Yeah.
So that's another option that you can explore as well.
Just to add on the current job, some people also have the possibility to do some extra time. Of course, this is short term, but maybe if you are doing some extra time and you can have additional income, you can use this money to either pay your debt or invest or do other things. So this is one point.
What about skills?
I was about to talk about skills. So one thing is you have your current job, you have your profession, and you do your job properly. But you should think ahead. You should think about the future, and you should always be sharp or even learn new skills. So in the past, and it may show my age, but in the past you need to go to school and you have class and you are sitting with your 20, 30, 40 colleagues in the class to learn new skills. But nowadays, everything has changed. The education path are quite accessible compared to the past. So this e-learning is changing dramatically the possibility of learning. We have here in UK is very well known and well respected is the Open University. So a lot of people take this possibility to study online on your own time, when you have a free time, on weekends or whatever. So this is a way for you to learn. We talk a lot about the future of professions, cryptocurrency, cybersecurity, robotics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and there are a lot of good source of knowledge that you can jump in and start looking at. I will give 3 examples here. A site called Udemy, which is quite well known in the, let's say, in the technology space. The same, another one is EDX, which has MIT, Harvard, which is out there. Another one is Coursera, which also offer a lot of good courses and can be very, very cheap. I'll give an example. Sites like Udemy, you can go for coding and programming. Good languages like Python, which a course is, let's say, $200, but you can get a nice promotion. You can pay 10% of it, $20, and you can learn a brand new language or computer language, which can give you another profession. So there are plenty of opportunities. The information is out there, and you don't necessarily need to spend huge money to grasp this potentially new profession that is coming.
And also, I'm thinking of, you're talking about e-learning, right? Many employers, they do have within their own facilities e-learning capabilities, absolutely for free, that you can learn in your own spare time or dedicate some time at work. You can actually negotiate with your own manager to spend a certain amount of time for learning reasons, and you should take that advantage. It's a mutual benefit for yourself and your employer as well, but it's a long-term asset that you incorporate for your own personal brand in a way. So absolutely, these are things that you can do as well.
If I may add, by the sound of it, skills are definitely the currency of the future.
It is indeed. I do believe that definition is spot on.
Especially in this age where the shifting job market, these new trends. You mentioned machine learning, artificial intelligence. So the landscape of the job market is changing. So people need to be always at the forefront. Be prepared for the change. The best way to do so is through this acquiring new skills, and not just I got my degree when in my early 20s and I'm done for life. So that doesn't work anymore. You need to be continuously learning.
I think the typical process of learning in the past was you do this, you go to school, then you go to university, then you find a nice job, and you spend the rest of your days in this company working. This has changed. So you have to get new skills. It's a continuous learning process, and you should enjoy that. Once you are learning, you get better as a professional, as a person, and so on. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But you should have this in mind: continuous learning, so that your value in the society and in the marketplace keeps rising. So,
if I may add, so far we have talked mainly as your source of income based on your main job.
Yeah.
And how you could maximize through upskilling, negotiating with your employer, utilizing all the benefits that your employer has to offer.
Yeah.
So that's one way. There are other ways of creating other source of income. What is traditionally called passive income.
Good
So
point.
the idea
That's
is a bit different. So
So what's passive income?
okay, so that's an important point. So when you work, for an employer or for yourself, obviously for an hour of your time, that you spend, you will get paid a fixed amount of money.
good point. Yeah.
Obviously, you're trading time for money.
Yeah.
The difference with passive income is that you do, let's say, an hour of work, and you should expect that you will get paid many times over, maybe 2-3
On a
times.
regular basis.
Or on a regular,
Potential.
maybe not forever. That
Yeah.
would be a bit ambitious, but at least for maybe a year or two. An example, for example, of passive income. If you write a book, okay, so
Yeah.
you do the effort, you can spend hours and hours and hours. And assuming you are successful, once the book sells, you may find that it won't sell just the first 6 months. It may sell for a long period of time. But the effort is done. You spend the time,
Yeah.
and the reward keeps on giving.
So
Okay, so long as you maintain maybe you do a bit of marketing or keep the book, refresh the book from time to time, so you keep it relevant. But this is a good example of passive income where you do the effort once and you get paid more than once.
you make money while you are sleeping. I think this is a
That's a good
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
But there are other sources of income that passive income that maybe are easier to grasp and maybe doesn't require as much effort as writing a book, because that's a big endeavor to
Yeah.
do. 2 examples I would like to give today. One is maybe going to buy to let.
Yeah.
Okay, so not as good as it used to be in the UK. The landscape in terms of taxation has changed quite dramatically, so it's not as attractive. But
this is a very good point, because it happened to me recently.
Okay.
That a friend of mine
Yeah.
came to me asking, "Oh, what do you think? Is it worthwhile going into buy to let
Yeah.
now that you have to pay a higher amount on the stamp duty?
Yeah.
Is it worthwhile?" So
Yeah.
it's something that
Yeah.
for some people it's not clear
Yeah.
whether you should invest a certain amount of money, add on top of that this stamp duty,
Yeah.
and then what's the reward?
Yeah.
Is it worthwhile or is it not?
But irrespective, I totally get the point of your friend there. So we can still look at the dynamics and is it still worthwhile. But just to explain the principle as a passive income.
Right,
so,
right.
so let's say you manage to accumulate some level of savings, and instead of going to the stock market, you decide to go to property and you find yourself a buy-to-let property. The idea is like, obviously, if you manage to get a tenant, you do the effort, you save this £50,000 for the sake of
Yeah, as
argument.
an example, yeah.
Buy a property, 160, 170, and then you will have a tenant that's going to pay you 600, maybe £700 of recurring income. So that's every month. Okay. Obviously, there is some effort involved, but even, for instance, the management of the property, the interaction with the tenant, you could outsource these activities with a letting agent.
Absolutely.
And then it becomes pure passive. That means you get paid the rent fall every month.
You pay the expense, and after that, the money is net
It's
in your
rolling in.
pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
So effort at the beginning, prepare the property, buy the property. So a bit of efforts, but once the property is yours and a tenant is living there, then you got a stream of income for many years to come. Another one that is even less involved, okay, is investing in dividend-paying shares.
Right.
So in the UK, you've got a lot of companies, great companies. An example I could give straight away is GlaxoSmithKline. So for those who don't know, it's a pharmaceutical company.
Yes.
So quite stable, been there for quite a long time. Another one, maybe all know or not. It's called Unilever.
Yeah.
They provide a lot of goods, like washing powder or soap and things like that. And these companies have been there for many decades, and they pay what is called a dividend. So that's a part of their profit that they pay to their shareholders, the people who own part of the company.
Yeah.
And that's a great source of what's called passive income. So because once you selected your share, you've done the effort, you've done your research, and you say, I'm going to invest in this share, or you can even de-risk further by buying a portfolio of shares through a fund. Instead of having one, you may have 20, 30, 40 shares. Okay, so you spread the risk across. And this company will pay you a dividend. And an example, typically today, the dividend is quite high. I think it's for the FTSE around 4 to 4.5%. So if you invest £1,000 to buy this fund or this share, and you get in return every year 40 to 45 pounds of dividend. And you do nothing.
This is a good topic that we'll probably discuss in more details in the future, but some people don't understand why you get money back when you put your money on these shares or in this company. So very simple. You give your money to these companies, they will produce soup or whatever it is. So where the consumer will buy it, the company will have a profit, and they will give to you part of the profit. So it's not a magic. It's an economy behind. You have made the effort to make your money. Then you give your money to this company, and they will work hard to make a result. So it's the concept of investment, and we will discuss this in the future.
Absolutely.
But this will create the passive income.
But I think the concepts underlying these like buy to let, like buying shares, where you buy an asset, where the value of the asset might change over time, so you can also capitalize on that. But at the end of the day, the important thing is the passive income you generate from them, right? So you get a certain amount on a regular basis without you having to spend time on this. And we talked about this before. You cannot buy time. So the more you can generate by investing wisely your time to generate passive income is the better, right?
So that was a great discussion we had today. So on this topic of income maximization, we hope you enjoy this podcast and video. And we hope to see you next time. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.